Hey, what's up, guys? I got progress done on this thing. Yeah, the motor's mounted, kinda. Well, the mount is there. I got footboards welded up, and I'm probably gonna go with this idea. Oak flooring, maybe? I don't know. I might use some steel mesh, but I think that, I don't know, I just like the wood. It's probably gonna be cut shorter to go inside of the frame like this. Inside of the steel frame. I don't know. We'll see. But I got the hood to work as one piece now. So it's, those zip ties are there, but I'm obviously gonna make something out of steel that is welded here and then bolts into that hole there. And then there's a couple self-tappers that hold the grill up into the hood. And there's the motor mounted up backwards. How I said I was gonna do it. And springs. I got lawnmower seat springs, one inside of another. There's a skinny one inside of the fatter one, and there's some rubber in there to stop them from clanking on each other. I think it'll work pretty well. This bolt is welded to the inside spring, and then there's probably gonna be a cup down here, or maybe I'll just tack the spring onto the thing because I don't really care. Probably gonna have some sort of like weld a brake pad or something to the frame, and then have like a steel plate that will rub up against that brake pad, and then I'll be able to adjust the damping with this bolt to pull the bar in or out, you know what I mean? And that'll be the front end. I got bigger tires that I found. They're on 1-inch hubs, but I got a 1-inch to 3/4 sleeve bushing in there that takes up the whole thing. I'm gonna have a grease fitting. I'll use a grease fitting on where the keyway normally is on this thing, and then I'll have a few holes drilled into the bushing and maybe an oil galley in the bushing or something, a grease galley. And then I'll figure out a way to seal it up here. I don't know. Obviously I'm gonna paint these wheels, but they hold air fine. They're not terribly dry rotted. Not as bad as most of the tires I've had. Wow, that was really zoomed in, I'm sorry. I don't know if that fucked up the video. Obviously the fender's not attached. I got a line drawn, yeah, you can see it, where I'm going to cut the frame, or the body I mean. So I'll cut it along this line to the back here, obviously up to here. That one's going to be cut out. And then I'm going to brace the frame down, and then up to this point. This is going to be a pivot point, and there'll be a shock underneath the body, and the fenders will go up and down, and there'll be a U-joint inside here, so the steering wheel will go with it. I was thinking about having the boards, the footboard go down with it too, attached to like a linkage here, but it's not necessary. It's got front suspension, so it's not really necessary. This is just to save your back. And the fact that the steering wheel and the fenders move with it, it's going to make it look like rear suspension. Yeah, I'll probably have like shocks that you can see from the back. I don't know. It'd be cool. And then obviously, because of that, this is going to move probably and have the hood. The hood's going to be stationary. So there's going to be like maybe some bushings, some like plastic, hard plastic or something that rubs up against the hood. There'll be enough room there for it to slide back and forth, and I don't think you'll even notice it. Most certainly won't notice it while you're riding, and there'll be like a bungee cord to hold the hood. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll probably have a couple uprights, front and back, or maybe, yeah, the front will be held on by the bumper, and the bumper is going to come up under the front axle from the frame rail right here, which is actually going to be cut off right at the end of this motor plate. And also inside of this motor plate, or in front of the motor plate coming off of that angle line, I'm going to have a track bar. So it'll go from this point on the frame to this point on the axle over here. it'll go that way, you know what I mean, so that it'll stop too much lateral side to side movement. And the exhaust is gonna have to go like straight back right into the frame, probably, or into the body. So that's about all I got. This back part of the body is obviously going to be chopped out, or yeah, I can actually just take it out there. That's going to come off anyway. Either way. And then we'll still have the shifter come up through, which I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with that. Depending on the amount of travel, I can probably have the shifter be stationary, just be inside of like a big rubber boot like I already have. It's got a lot of room for movement in there, so the shifter can be centered in there, and then as it goes up and down, I mean, it might be weird going over bumps and shifting, but you really shouldn't shift on the fly too much with these things. So I like to put it in, like, if I'm gonna be racing around my yard, I'll just put it in 4th or 5th gear and like maybe go back and forth between the 2 gears, but it won't be hard to shift. I don't think it'll be that bad, because like no matter what, you're getting thrown around on these things. But other than that, I'll probably have like a bar or something on the side, and then we'll talk about brakes when I get there. One of the easiest brakes I've done was you put a big pulley here, and then you pull a belt this way, and like if you have a 3-inch pulley, because that's a 8-to-1, effectively it's like 8 times 3. Effectively it's like having a freaking 24-inch pulley on the back. So you put like your brake effectively is bigger than your wheels. So like literally just the smallest touch on that pulley will lock up the back wheels. But it's not so good because obviously you're relying on the case to stay together and stuff. Which I'm sure if it breaks because of the brake, it's all gonna bind up anyway, and it might crack on the inside, but you probably will still be able to come to a stop. I don't see why that would happen any other way. But also, there's gonna be like a brace from here going around the spring, coming to here or something, maybe over or something. That'd be cool. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to kick out this way no matter what because of the motor. Yeah, I feel like shit right now. I'm sick. I'm terrible lately. The clutch seems to work perfectly where it is. It seems to fit the new footboard placement just fine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with having the boards on the inside of the frame because I can get them all the way to here, so I can have 4 on each side, 4 boards on each side instead of 3, and you won't have that gap there. That's what I'm gonna do. Although if I gap them more, it might be good for drainage, so that they don't get so mudded up so fast. I do have a table saw, so I can slim them down too. I don't know. But it definitely needs a track bar because the way this is set up, there's play here in these bushings. So yeah, it needs a track bar so that it doesn't want to walk side to side. It's not play, they're like hard plastic bushings, so they flex, or like polyurethane kind of. I don't know. I just found them. But other than that, the steering wheel's obviously it's gonna go right about there. And like I said, there'll be a U-joint wherever the center of pivot is, which is probably gonna be down here. It does actually help that the center of pivot is right near the where the steering axis is, or where the steering shaft goes. Yeah, it comes up right from here. So if there's a U-joint, say where my wrist is, it'll all be able to move. The whole steering shaft will move with the body, and not bind up at all. It may need I might put like a a slip yoke on it too, just because I have it. I have all sorts of steering U-joints. I don't think it'll need it though. And I'll be able to put, like, it's gonna need a bearing here up at the top and then a bearing somewhere else to support it. Yep. Well, it's looking good though. Obviously there's going to be a gas pedal, and then I'm probably going to have a brake pedal on the same side as the gas pedal. That's what I usually do. Brake pedal will be like this, and then the gas pedal will be like this, or something. Maybe it'll be different on this one. The shifter is going to come up on the side there, like I said. Gas tank, still not completely sure on that. I know I have a small gas tank that I could fit in here. I'm still not completely sure what I'm going to do with a gas tank. So I do have room up here now. That might happen. It might happen like that. Because obviously I've moved the motor back. Definitely have room up there. And there's going to be an upright coming from here to mount the hood. Or maybe it'll come from the bumper. But then at that point I could make the gas tank mount come off the bumper too. The bumper is obviously going to be strong. It's going to come off of the main rails, come straight forward, and then up, and then be a beam or something. Maybe have like a little runner bar. I really like these big wheels though, and they have like, the bushings are perfect. There's no play in that steering system at all. Still have to make tie rods, which is going to be crazy. But I think I have it figured out. But, alright, that's all I got for now.